Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, it's Happy Halloween. It's October 31st, about 7 o'clock as I record this. Second video of the night. And I have to say, I'm really getting annoyed with the stories I'm reading on the internet about the election and how close it is. There is nothing that I can logically come up with that would justify this being a close election. I can't get there. Of course, I couldn't get there in 2016 with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump because the guy was a complete fool. And there we are. So, I mean, I could be completely wrong. Entertainment purpose only and all that. But to watch this guy, 8 years older, he's not mentally sharp. He makes verbal gaffes all the time, talking about windmills killing whales and Hannibal Lecter and false stories about Haitians eating dogs and cats, and his campaign of alienating Haitians, alienating Puerto Ricans, alienating women, alienating the LGBTQ community. Who else have we alienated these days? The Trump circle, Haley Republicans. The Trump circle would just get smaller and tighter and smaller and tighter all the time. Voter enthusiasm, the amount of money that Kamala Harris has raised. Now, raising money is not a political indicator, but she raised a lot of money in a short time. There's a lot of enthusiasm around her. Remember how Donald Trump was saying, never mind the polls. Look at how many people were at my rallies. And, they had enthusiastic rally goers. And I think that caused some people like Michael Moore, the movie producer or the movie director, to come out and say that he thought Trump would win in 2016 because he was seeing that enthusiasm for Trump. And to me, it's like we're seeing that same thing for Harris. And, Trump tossed away about 1,000 of his most fanatic followers after the ellipse speech into the insurrection. He didn't pardon him. So he's lost all those people. Once bitten, twice shy for most of them. 1 million people in the U.S. died of COVID. A lot of them would be older people that Trump was telling not to get the vaccine. Injecting bleach. Taking ivermectin, remember? And all that stuff. All the craziness. Those people would take everything but the vaccine. So how can this possibly be close? One person I was listening to on TikTok was suggesting that this is a case where the pollsters look at their poll, they look at somebody else's poll and say, wow, mine's showing 5 points for Harris, but that person's showing 3 points for Trump. Maybe I'll just knock mine down to 1 point for Harris, so I'm close to his without being too far of an outlier. Something similar happened with U.S. intelligence with regards to Ukraine standing up to Russia. Most U.S. intelligence experts, military intelligence, expected Ukraine to last days to weeks. And here we are 3 years into it. And very few had Ukraine surviving longer than that. And the speculation at the time was everybody started group thinking, and one person had very strong opinions that everybody's like, well, yeah, that sounds logical to me. So they started agreeing with them. And that was, Ukraine could only last days to weeks. Not the case. And it's kind of that same thing with these polls. The pollsters are out there, and I think Donald Trump and his group have done a really good job of somehow, I do not know how, I cannot explain to you how you could do this, but somehow being overrepresented and quite vocal in polls to the point where pollsters might be artificially adjusting their numbers to a more neutral number. Because I cannot picture a scenario where half the likely voters are going to be voting for Donald Trump and the other half are voting for Harris. I can't see it. In the reddest of states, sure. But the battleground states, with everything there is, Roe v. Wade, and everything else that's on the line, I cannot imagine a close battleground state. Maybe Arizona? Maybe? I don't know. But let's take a look. That's what the tarot cards are for. Let's take a look at the Battleground States and how things are going, generally speaking, with the energy with the Battleground States. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Foundation of the reading is the world bringing things to a close. It's funny because in the American elections, it doesn't matter what California votes for. Even though we've got the most electoral ballots, it doesn't matter what we vote for because we're always thrown into the blue category. We're always voting for the Democrats, so it's already banked. So these battleground states, and to a lesser degree Florida and Texas, are the deciders of the election. They bring the election to a close. This could also be the close of battleground states, because if you have one person, one vote go out there, then it doesn't matter anymore. You get rid of the Electoral College. But right now, it's winner takes all, which is why you fight so hard for those states, because it's close to a 50-50 split, and the winner gets all the votes. You don't get 51% to 49%. You get all or nothing. And it's an outdated way of doing things. So this is more, I think, a damnation of the Electoral College. I think the Electoral College is actually coming to an end, which would make sense because we're talking about battleground states and how you want to lose. And it's just an old way of doing things. I did hear somebody say, it was probably Hawk on TikTok, that the Electoral College voters absolutely failed the American people. The idea was, I think it was Hawk. I don't think it was Susan Lind. Could be Susan Lind too. Sorry. I heard somebody say that the Electoral College was designed by Thomas Jefferson to ensure that whoever was elected president was suitable for office. That's what their job was to do, was to decide if the candidate that their state voted for was suitable for office. And Trump isn't. But they put him in there anyways. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would certainly say he's not suitable for office, but I don't know if the Electoral College has that ability. Regardless, the Electoral College is passé. It does not work in today's society. It is not needed in today's society. In the past, you have the Ten of Cups. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. To me, as a former Republican living in California, it always frustrated me that my vote didn't count for anything. And I feel for Republicans in California who vote. Their vote, unless you're in the Interior Valley, your vote doesn't count for anything, especially for a statewide vote. This is America. Everybody's vote should count. That's the whole point of voting, is to have your voice heard. The Electoral College takes away that voice. Again, we're supposed to be talking about battleground states here. Current situation is a strength card. If you control the battleground states, you control the election. It's really that simple. And so when elections are coming up, there's polling going on, trying to find out what you need to do, what you need to promise these states to get them to support you. What are you going to offer them? So it's like the battleground states get an outsized amount of attention and resources relative to the rest of the country because of how important they are to winning an election. If they went to a one-person, one-vote system, it would be a very, very different type of political season. Lesson to be learned is the Six of Swords. Moving away from troubled waters, going to calmer shores, things changing, moving away from things. Talk about taking over battleground states. I don't think it's going to be as close of a battle as people are saying it's going to be. Or I should say the polls are saying it's going to be. It's not that close. It's not even like, it's not so close that it's even rippling the boat. You've moved past that. This is just telling me that Kamala Harris is going to win these, and by comfortable margins. It could be 52-48 or something like that. It doesn't have to be a huge win, or even 51-49, but well past the margin of errors, and that you're not sweating things too much as you move through it. Outcome is Knight of Wands. slow planning, slow changes, but moving forward cautiously and slowly here. Battleground states decide the election. They really do. In this current way of doing things. It's a winner-takes-all thing, and it leads to whole campaigns trying to figure out how to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia. I'm missing a few here. So many different ways to go with this. How we will do a challenge reading on Battleground States. Central card will be the kind of one of the key issues. Left side will be Kamala Harris. Right side will be Donald Trump. I think that's only appropriate. Battleground States. Let's see what these cards are looking like for that. Harris versus Trump. Battleground States. What are we looking at here? Could this be a Trump reading without a devil card? Stay tuned. Okay, get these things shuffled. I think that's pretty good. Come on down, Battleground States. Main core issue. The star card. The exact, like the opposite of the devil card. Okay, rising star. Who's going to basically... Who's the star that's rising? Who's the stars that's falling? I mean, I didn't have to throw any more cards than that with the Battleground States. It's the enthusiasm. Look at the campaign who has the most enthusiastic supporters. Look at the campaign who has zombie-like supporters on Halloween here. I think that tells you everything you need to know about the Battleground States right there. For Kamala Harris, you have the Nine of Wands. You know, the penultimate battle. Going through there, battling through all these, and there are about 9 Battleground States. Battling through all the Battleground States, but always, you know, keeping an eye on the prize. This card also came up with the Las Vegas Sphere reading I did with her. And it's just, you know, it's not giving up. It's fighting, fighting, fighting. And you know, not giving in. There's charity here. That, you know, part of the struggle with the Democrats is getting the message across that they are there to help the citizens in Battleground States, but also like the Midwest. I got the Midwest jumped out at me mentally when I saw that card. That you know, you're not forgotten. You're not unappreciated. We are here to help. We can help you on things. Again, Battleground States get a lot of extra money, but there's just a message here with her is that she's there to help. She's there for the common person. And the Battleground States are filled with those. There's the celebration card. Always comes up with her. Just like Trump always gets the devil card, I always get this card for her. I almost always get this card from her. It's a party. It's a celebration. There's a lot of work Kamala Harris is going to have to do. But she's the right person to do it. To make America more empathetic again. Strong ideas, big push forward. She's got strong ideas. She's got a big push. She connects with people. Everything along those lines. And I think people are just, this could also just be they're wary of the drama. Trump. We've got the High Priestess. We've got the secrets. Decisions that need to be made. Declining in values, declining in health, declining in numbers. All sorts of tumultuous legal cases going on here. He's trying to come forward with his message. His message still resonates with many there. But the problem is his message gets muddied up. And people look at what he said he was going to do, look what he delivered, and they have a choice to make. Do they want to trust him a second time? They answered his call the first time, but they're not so sure they want to answer the call a second time. Kind of what, as I mentioned earlier about like Trump not pardoning his insurrectionists, once bitten, twice shy. Do you want to go for another ride with Trump? Did you learn your lesson the first time? And underneath it all is the Page of Pentacles. They're looking for the star power, but it's also who's coming up with the new ideas versus who's grifting. I really just don't see it. I do not see a situation where, Trump, that doesn't mean Kamala Harris will sweep all the battleground states. I would think she should, but I might be just being overly optimistic and overly biased at this point. Trump certainly has an ability to sway and influence people. He's got entire populations of people ignoring what they see, ignoring what they hear, and only believing what comes out of his mouth. It's amazing. It's an incredibly powerful spell that he has, powerful talent that he has, that's used for such selfish, low energy reasons. Can you imagine if he used that to try and make the world a better place, rather than his world a better place for himself? Anyways, we'll leave it there. I'm not worried about the battleground states. Harris is going to pull it off. This is going to be a day of celebration on Tuesday night through Wednesday. I'll probably do a reading this weekend to see how long we might have to wait, but I'm hoping we will find out soon enough that so many votes are cast for her that it's not going to be in doubt for long. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you do find it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.